Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to the Chatter After Daily. Today is Tuesday, October 10th, 2023. We're finally back with another news roundup. It's been a minute. Didge, how you doing, man? Welcome back.
I'm doing good. I am doing good. Got a lot of good news. I'm excited to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Very good news, especially this first topic. Trevon, it's been a long time since we've talked news. Feels like 3 weeks, maybe. How's it going?
It's going good. This should be fun to talk about. Well, kind of. But anyway, some of it's fun. So yeah, but it'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes.
We shall see. Joel, welcome back. You ready to get into this?
I'm very excited. Yeah, a lot of stuff to discuss that I'm looking forward to talking about.
Same. Guys, if you're new here, make sure you give us a like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing here happening at the Chatter After. And if you're listening to us in the podcast feed, give us a review on Apple, on Spotify. It really helps us out. And check out the YouTube channel too, because you get to see our wonderful faces instead of just listening to our amazing voices. Our first topic of the day, the AMPTP might have finally come to their senses. This is coming straight from the WGA. After 148 days, WGA secured their deal with the AMPTP. The writers essentially got everything they were fighting for, including better residuals, more accurate streaming data, healthcare, and protections against AI. On top of that, more good news. SAG-AFTRA and the AMPTP will return to the negotiation table on Wednesday after negotiating amongst themselves today on Tuesday. And hopefully, insiders believe we might be getting a deal between the two by the end of the week. Fingers crossed. Hopefully it all works out.
Great.
It's been almost 150 days. Gosh. Joel.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, man? They finally did it. They secured the bag. At least the writers did.
No, this is great news. It sucks it took this long, but this is why you have strikes, right? Because you had to juice them. And look, it caught up to them is really what happened. And then they caved. I mean, they got what they needed. They got what they wanted. And it's not like they were asking for a shit ton anyway. I mean, these are basic rights at this point, right? For these people, they need to live, right?
Getting paid on
the fact that healthcare was included in this, like,
That's
how is
awesome.
that not a thing?
I know, especially if
Crazy.
these writers are so important to what what we do. I mean, what they do. It's insane that it took this long, but I'm so happy that at least one of the two strikes is over.
Yeah, for sure. Trevon.
Yeah. I'm happy that we found, getting some movement finally.
Yes.
This was very eye-opening when something like this happens, because finding out that they asked about getting paid on time, that one, that's the one that stuck in my head the most. That was the craziest one to me. They were like, no. I was like, what? Like, y'all won't even get paid on time? How do you even live?
It was crazy because it wasn't even just no. It was, we acknowledge that we do that, but still no.
That's crazy.
Right.
Like, you have mortgages, you have like, what?
Lives,
What do you mean?
right.
I have to guess when the money's coming.
Like,
But you have to like guess when the money's coming. That's crazy to me. I can't believe it went on this long with that in place. I was like, wow. Like, yeah, I understand. Once we, when they went on strike, I was like, wow. But once you find out all that, like the things we're asking for, that tells you didn't have it already. Wow. It's just, I'm happy they got a deal, and now the actors, hopefully theirs goes well. I mean, it should be motivation for it. Like, since this happened, it should help. So we'll see how it goes. Because, wow, the fact that they held out this long, 148 days, like they're like, hey, can I get paid on time? Can I have a living wage? Thanks. No. Oh, okay.
Can I get a bonus because I wrote the biggest show on Netflix of all time and I get paid pennies for it?
Right.
Like, when they were talking about the parties that Ted Sarandos used to have because he's celebrating, we beat Game of Thrones, or we beat Max on this, or HBO at the time on this. And then it was like, oh, but we ain't got the money. And it's like, why are you throwing a party about how big y'all are then? Like,
Then they had all the writers in there.
Yeah.
Like, and actors.
Hi, yeah. So happy.
What do we get out of this?
Yeah.
But
I just bought me a new car though.
Right.
You know?
New supercar at that. Let me make sure you know what kind of car. It's not,
might have been a jet. Might have been a jet.
You know? Front.
A yacht. Crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. First off, hello, Isaac. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for stopping by. You guys, if you're watching us live, go check out the chatter after. They're going to be covering Castlevania in like an hour and a half. So stay tuned for that. And if you're listening to the replay, that video and that episode's already up in your podcast feed and on the YouTube channel. Yes, Didge, what were your thoughts when they secured this deal? Because this is not news with the WGA. Right. It's been a couple weeks now, but knowing that SAG is also hopefully on their way to getting their deal done as well.
I mean, I think it gave hope. Like, obviously, we're consumers of this right now. I know obviously some of us all have aspirations of getting into that industry. But even as consumers, you have hope that the people who are making the stuff that helps you get through your days are actually being able to do that comfortably. Like, you heard so many different horror stories about the people who were on some of the biggest shows and they would see their residual check and be 0 or it'd be 28 cents. And it's like, what are we really doing here?
Or the one that was negatives 1. Like, what was that?
How you get negative checks?
Because you
print it. It's crazy.
It does, but like because of like the stuff that they take out the checks, they took out enough that apparently just went into the negative.
You owe them money now?
Like it was insane. And like I said, with them finally coming to their senses with WGA, it just gives you hope that, well, you finally understood that you can't create a show or you can't create a movie, all of this without your writers. You know the next step of that is actors. So we got one down. Let's just go ahead and get the other one. So like I said, yeah, it gave you hope that finally some normalcy will start happening.
Do we know if this stuff like happens immediately, or did they get like a little grace period? Like, oh, we'll fix. Like, yes, we signed the deal, but it doesn't go into effect for like 6 months. Like,
no, it goes into effect the day that it was ratified.
Because they love doing stuff like that. Whatever, like but give us 6 months to get it right.
No, I'm pretty sure it's data ratification. Like since I think they voted to ratify it as of like Monday or something.
They need back pay, to be honest. It should
back pay. That would be real. Insane. They would grow broke. Those studios.
At least go back 6 months.
Seriously,
like that's crazy. Wow.
That is wild.
So there was a report that came in like 3-4 days ago. This is coming from Collider.com. The strike, thankfully, the writer's strike was resolved, but that doesn't mean that there weren't without costs. 45,000 jobs in the entertainment industry were lost. 7,000 being cut in September alone. So hopefully everyone is able to bounce back. There were a lot of shows canceled.
Yes,
there were a lot of movies that were probably canned too. So it's like it all came with a cost, and it's a shame that it had to happen, that they had to be on strike that long. It's not the union's fault. It's really just, again, the studio's not even negotiating. Like, they just froze them out. They didn't even want to meet with them or talk to them for like a good 125 days roughly of that strike. They didn't even answer the phone.
They're like, ouch.
I think one great saving grace of those shows that were lost is they did also get minimum room numbers, like minimum writers in the room. So hopefully a good percentage of those can get onto a different show. It's not the same, obviously, but at least, like you said, they can start to get back to some normalcy of having a job again.
Closing up these loopholes too, like showrunners, writers, and all that. Like, because that was interesting to read about too. It was like, oh, so you're a showrunner, so you don't get qualified as like a writer. It was very interesting the way they get around paying you what you're supposed to get paid.
Capitalism, huh?
Crazy. They were really getting around it. I don't know how you even do the job. I'm ready to fight. For real, like
they're taking advantage. They were just taking advantage of people. Like, in this type of industry, they know this is a very lucrative job, right? Like, you're writing episodes of Game of Thrones, and as a writer, like, if you get the opportunity to do that, they take advantage of that desire, right? That want to work in this industry. Like, they're basically gonna be like, hey, you're never gonna work in this industry again if you don't do what I want. And they will take advantage of you. There's a story today that we're going to talk about that is exactly that. And like, somebody took control of Warner Brothers and said, hey, if you don't do what I want, I'm going to burn you to the ground. And we'll get to that a little bit later. It's kind of crazy, but that's why unions are important. That's why them working together and standing together all that time was very important, because they, like, the individual, the studios think they have all the power, but the collective, I'm glad it showed that they didn't.
Yeah.
So they're getting back to writing. They're getting back to developing new stories. So, of course, in classic Hollywood fashion, we're just going to keep telling old stories, right? Like, somehow Frasier, Seinfeld, and The Office have returned. And I don't understand who wants this and why. This is coming from Collider.com, not sponsored. Jerry Seinfeld, in an interview, said, quote, "It hasn't happened yet," talking about a Seinfeld revival. It hasn't happened yet. And we're still thinking about it. Larry David. They've been thinking about it. It's going to happen. You'll see. Why?
Not surprised.
First off, the ending of Seinfeld is so weird. They kind of have to come back. I was
gonna say that's the one that makes the most sense, just because of how bad that ending was. I could see them being like, "All right, like we need
Sopranos
to fix this."
epic. You're like, what the? Yeah, it was a weird way to go out like that. Yeah.
So that one, that's like I said, that's the one I can understand the most. But even still, like you said, why?
That's the one that
closure.
Yeah, that's the one that makes sense. Like, I don't know if I do a series again. Maybe they can do a special, like,
miniseries
thing. Miniseries that could work. Are you guys excited for a Seinfeld revival? This isn't a reboot. This is a revival.
No. I watched the original Seinfeld, and it's no.
I wouldn't say I would be excited, because I didn't really like Seinfeld that much growing up. I didn't really get into Seinfeld until recently. And that's because my fiance forced me. So, but you know, I did enjoy it. So I can't really complain. I really like Curb. She's like, you gotta watch it. If you like Curb, you gotta watch Seinfeld. So I'm like,
that's actually true.
And I'm like, it really is funny, and I did really enjoy it after the fact. But it did take me like a while, like watching them air when I was younger. They didn't really interest me. But no, I sat down watching them overall. It was good. Yeah. I'll give it that.
Trevon, any thoughts on Seinfeld?
Okay, I'm going to offend somebody when I say this. Frasier and Seinfeld felt like old people things, so I never watched them. And Office,
I don't know if you're going to offend anybody by saying that.
Office, I've heard of it. It's something that I hear about a lot. I've seen memes of it, and I've seen maybe a total of 5 episodes. So.
All right, that might.
Good luck to them, whoever they do. Good luck to how long. Hopefully, it lasts a long time for y'all that want it.
All right, Seinfeld. I can never. It might, but that's what we're here for. We're here for the madness. Seinfeld. Yeah, that makes sense to try and redeem themselves after that terrible series finale. That might be one of the worst series finales I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
weird ending.
It's such a weird way for that show to go out. Mm-hmm. It does make sense. This is the weird one to me, and that is The Office. So in 2022, last year, in an interview with Collider, Greg Daniels, the showrunner of The Office, was asked about a potential reboot. And he said, quote, I can't tell whether fans would want more of it. And when I say more of it, I don't think it would be the same characters. I think it would sort of be an extension of that universe. You know what I mean? Like the way The Mandalorian is an extension of Star Wars. But I don't know if that'd be something people would be interested in. It's hard to tell, end quote. Then, all of a sudden, once these strikes are starting to cool down and we're starting to get more leaks and information, Puck News decides to say, hey, guys, that Office revival, remake, whatever, is an actual thing. And there's a million versions of The Office. Each country has their own take on The Office. But do we really need an Office universe where we're following a different branch? That just seems kind of strange to me.
Can you get away with that same because they fucking sell paper? Can you get away with that anymore?
Well,
no.
Not only that, the thing that doesn't make sense the most for me with this is the fact that it was supposed to be a documentary. So is this supposed to be like they came back for a second round of the documentary?
Maybe it's a different office. That's the whole point. Documentary.
What kind of documentary are we doing here? Why are you going to all these paper offices?
That's why we paid these writers recently to figure it out. That's all I'm asking the wrong person.
You got a raise. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out, Greg Berlanti. It's on you.
It's not for me to figure out. It's for them to figure it out.
Hold on, Greg Berlanti's doing it. I might be interested. Sorry.
That was a joke.
It would be a new version of The Office. Obviously, there's some stuff in that show you cannot get away with these days.
Maybe it's not a mockumentary, because
that was the fun part of it.
Well, Parks and Rec had the same shtick, but there was no documentary being made in Parks and Rec. They were just talking to the camera for no reason. You know, it might be like that.
I did love that. I love Parks and Rec too, by the way. That was a great show. I
think Parks and Rec is better than The Office, personally.
I mean, it's
I
close.
know that might be controversial.
That's close.
I love both.
I don't know if it's better, but it's close. It is close. Love them both. I would love. I'd see. Here's the thing.
I agree.
That's tough.
Hey.
I agree.
That's tough. I wouldn't mind seeing a new Office. Honestly, I wouldn't. I'm never against trying something new. Maybe trying to capture that the lightning in a bottle all over again. But I know it'll be met with a lot of pushback, so it'll be tough. But as long as it stays true to what that show was, it could do it again. It's hard to find the right people again, hit that again, because it even struggled later in its own series to capture that magic. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I agree with you though that the idea. It's still very much the cash grab of we want to capitalize on the IP known as The Office, which is just funny to say as is. But the fact that Greg Daniels wants to make a different show with different characters is exciting to me, because you're right, Joel. The fall of The Office in those later seasons was Steve Carell left, and they didn't know how to fill that void.
Yeah,
but if you get a new batch of characters, a new cast, and even a new premise, maybe we're in a different office. Maybe it's not a paper company anymore.
Right.
Maybe we're following someone else.
It's not Dunder Mifflin.
Not Dunder Mifflin anymore. That can possibly work, because guess what? Parks and Rec again was kind of like that.
Because I think you get into that 80s show of that 70s show, where it's the same premise, it's a different cast, it's feeding off of that same phenomenon and that same IP, and it just didn't work. Granted, that could have been because that 70s show and that 80s show are on at the same time for a little bit, but it also just felt really weird, because it's why are you trying to do this again with this whole different cast? Think of something else.
To be fair, Office is a spinoff of a show.
That is also true.
It's not the original Office, so it's
and I'd argue that U.S. Office is way better than UK Office.
So much more superior. It's great. There's a UK Shameless. I didn't know that.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look that up.
I'm that is such different show, but that's what I mean. Some of these shows were not first, but you could say that our version was a little better. And I'm open.
The Shameless is first.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like, oh, they came out with a UK Shameless like after.
No. The UK Shameless came out first. Yeah, it's weird, but I'm open to it. I'll say that. And I don't know. We're gonna talk about Frasier or no?
Frasier is out.
Yeah,
I think.
so
is it?
Frasier comes out Thursday,
okay,
and that's why I like.
October.
I'm including it in this segment because that's another thing of like Frasier's coming back, and it's missing like 95% of the original cast of Frasier, and so I feel like I haven't seen it. Hopefully it's good, but that feels like the type of thing I don't want these two shows to be. Where it's like it's a hollow shell of the show that we used to watch and used to know, you know?
Well, Frasier would be a continuation, whereas The Office would kind of be its own thing.
This is gonna sound dark, but I thought they had no choice but to have like 90% of the original cast of Frasier missing. I knew it was gonna sound dark. There was no nicer way to put that.
It goes back to Trevon's point.
What was my point? Damn it! Sorry.
I was talking about. Mike was talking about how Frasier has 95% pretty much of the cast missing, and I said this is going to sound dark, but I assumed they had no choice of that. Take that how you will.
Alive,
I didn't realize that. I'm not gonna lie. This is news to me as of right now. I thought.
Oh man!
I thought a lot of them went to the upper room.
No. My only pushback to Frasier is I never watched the original Frasier.
I didn't either. That was
I had no interest. I know a lot of people that like it, but it didn't catch me.
I know the theme song because that meant
it's
time to turn off this TV.
Same. Oh, it's late. I gotta go to bed.
Right. I done had a good
Frasier was when you like, I'm out.
That was Seinfeld. It was a good day.
Like Frasier and Seinfeld, it's late. Oh shit, I gotta go.
I would hear that or the MASH theme song.
Oh, dude, MASH. I still hear MASH. Oh, dude, my nightmares. Like
the Law and Order knows my nightmares.
The what?
The Law and Order ones?
Oh my head. Doom doom.
Yeah. Or was it Unsolved Mysteries one?
Ooh, yeah.
I like Unsolved Mysteries.
No. Whatever it is, it scared me. Whatever.
Yeah, I love the Unsolved Mysteries. I like the new one, Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix. There we go. They're dope.
I know they had a new one.
Man.
Interesting.
Well, newer ones. There hasn't been a new one in a while, but they were new. It was like 3 seasons, I think.
Okay.
They're good. Same concept. You never really run out of those.
Yeah, there's always Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah.
There's probably a new one of those every day.
Right. Cold case, basically.
I feel like I took us down a dark place.
Actually,
now we're talking about Unsolved Mysteries.
Sorry, yeah. Unsolved. One of them actually got solved, I think, recently.
Like from being on the show?
Yeah, recent. One of them won.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's how you get your budget the next season. You go, look what we just did.
Yeah, really. Yeah,
you gotta run it back and now be like mystery solved.
Yeah.
They tell
if they ever do a new season, I better see that resolution.
That'd be amazing. Oh man, but yeah, writers are back. Writers are back. Hollywood's up to their old shenanigans of like, yeah, we got the writers back. Let's tell some old stories. Let's do it.
They didn't waste the beat on that.
Still like we need something with a built-in fan base, kinda. Let's see what we got.
It's
maybe sort of short.
I should tell my dad all of these. My dad loved each and every one of these shows. See how he feels. He not care.
Dad TV is thriving with Yellowstone, and then we've got Reeves coming out.
Yellowstone's great.
Is it?
Yeah,
I'm waiting for him to try Murder, She Wrote one day.
Murder, She Wrote. And
you know what? They're rebooting that too, right?
Yeah, I like that. Perry Mason.
Are they really?
Matlock. I like those.
They did a Perry Mason on HBO, didn't they?
Those are grandparent shows.
Yeah, my grandma had me watching it.
Those are for sure grandparent shows.
Matlock. They're gonna do a Matlock show. They did
a Perry Mason.
Did they just redo MacGyver? It wouldn't surprise me.
That should have more than one.
Yeah. They're rebooting Matlock and they're rebooting Murder, She Wrote, and I don't understand whose audience this is for because
Trevon.
the draw were the The draw of those shows were the main actors. So like now you're just telling me random mystery detective stories because like the cast, to be dark, is no longer with us.
Perry Mason.
They are also in the upper room.
HBO Perry Mason show is actually pretty good, which I was shocked by because I never liked the show, but I watched.
The remake of Perry Mason is out already.
It's been out. Yeah, it's been out.
Know that?
Isn't it over?
It might be.
It is. I think it is. I think it's only 2 seasons or 3, some shit like that. But it's pretty good. You know what? Now that you talk about it, I don't think I ever saw the second season. I gotta watch it.
I didn't know this was out, so this is all news to me.
Matlock's gonna be a woman.
That's
okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's your name? So I've never seen Matlock. The name, it's not a guy named Matlock. Like I thought it was like a full name. Oh, it's Matlock, like together. I'm not lying. I've never seen that.
Lawyer.
I didn't know any about it. I thought it was like
he's a lawyer.
Yeah.
They haven't reboot Columbo, have they?
I don't think so. But that's like, don't say that out loud.
It'll be on the list.
It's coming out. It'll come out next week.
It was goofy.
Columbo was funny, but yeah.
They got like an internet over there. Like, oh, someone said it. Throw it on the calendar.
Well, clue. I just said it. Do that. Hurry up.
I'll take a board game, but yeah.
Leo was he was with me. He also thought it was somebody named Matlock.
No, it's one word. Matlock.
Yeah, you're still not wrong. His name is Matlock, but Matlock is a very different person. Yes. Leo's giving love in the chat saying, great mystery show right now. Only murders in the building. It's fantastic.
It is good.
I haven't seen it.
For multiple reasons. It's fantastic.
It is great.
Yeah. I mean, once you get past that part, Trevon, it's actually really good.
For multiple reasons? Interesting.
Multiple. I had to say multiple because you would only think of praising it for the one.
I think
you're like, no, it's
you are. That's fine. It's fine. You are.
They definitely are, but that's fine. I think it's really good.
Though. God,
that's not what I meant.
But I do the same thing for certain shows. Yeah,
he's true. He's being honest. But it's a good show, regardless.
That's all I was trying to say. Was it's a good show. That was the gist of it. But that's all right. It's okay.
It's a mystery comedy.
I want to take a second for us to backtrack a little bit because we missed something with the strikes. Video game industry might be getting their own strike very soon. Did we want to talk about how even though it feels like there's light at the end of the tunnel, there's just going to be more chaos happening in the entertainment industry?
It's for the better.
Yeah, I think that's true.
They
get overworked too.
Yeah. They do.
You know,
it is for the better.
VFX too, right? VFX is doing it too, right?
VFX is you're unionizing the VFX people.
They're unionizing, which is very good.
Yeah.
And then they'll strike.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, that's the first thing they're going to
do. Hopefully they don't have to strike. Like, hopefully Disney, Marvel, Warner Brothers, all those folks are going to be like, oh, snap, they're a union. We just went through like 3 rounds of strikes. We're not going to mess with them.
Yeah.
Because the horror stories coming out of the Marvel VFX team has been terrible.
It has.
Read the writing on the wall, guys.
Meet their demands.
That's it.
I bet their demands
actually
are reasonable.
Spoke with. I'm sure they are. They have to be. Like, come on. But also, the entire video game industry is just kind of terrible. Like the crunch of the developers, that like all around, it's bad. Not just the motion capture and voice performers, you know?
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
So I actually spoke to Yuri Lowenthal. That interview should be going up on Collider's website this week by Friday. We talked about that strike and how it affects him and Spider-Man and all that stuff. So stay tuned for that. We hate that it's come this far, but you know, we've seen again the good and the bad with the WGA and how they got what they wanted. It just took them almost 200 days.
Yeah,
but it's important. So
it definitely is.
Christian is not popping up. It's he's here, but I'm not able to pull him in. We'll get that figured out.
I thought he just like asked it and just never showed up. I was like, yeah, what was the point?
Well, he just wanted to be here in spirit. You don't need our permission for that.
Yeah, you could just hang out in the comments. It's cool. Right. It's cool. It's cool. Guys, we have to talk about DC again. Everyone's favorite topic. Everybody's favorite company. David Zaslav, everyone's favorite producer.
Whoop, whoop. Ready for that chaos?
It's very much chaos. I don't know what's happening over there.
Put my food down.
Aquaman 2's production was a nightmare. There was this giant piece that came out in Variety today, and Variety doesn't do that often. When they do, there's some serious crap that went down. Essentially, I got to paraphrase a lot of it. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, there was a massive trial that happened last year, very public. Recently, notes from her therapist were revealed to the public through that case and the subpoena, which I think is such a violation of privacy.
It is.
I almost didn't want to cover the story because of that.
Being a celebrity has to be exhausting because apparently, because you're famous, nothing about you being a regular human being has to matter anymore. It's just like, oh no, you this is what you signed up for. Apparently, it sounds so exhausting.
Like her or not, that's some crazy bullshit.
Yeah, that's why we're not gonna get into all of it because I hate that all this information was made public. But we do have to talk about the Aquaman 2 stuff because it's kind of her job. Essentially, in these notes, she was voicing her complaints and concerns about Aquaman and claims that, quote, Jason said he wanted me fired. Jason being Jason Momoa, lead actor of Aquaman. And apparently she says that he showed up drunk on set, dressed like Johnny Depp to like toy with her, which I think is an insane claim. I think that's just how he dresses, but
they dress very similar.
Yeah, that's why when I heard that,
like even in the shot in the movie, he's kind of dressed like Johnny Depp.
Right. I'm like, he's kind of always dresses like that.
I'm not even sure if that was costume. Like they might have just said, "Hey, Jason, show up one day."
Yeah, he just
rolled up like this.
Yeah. Look at his character; it's almost very similar in the way he dresses. It's crazy. Yeah. I don't know. I think that was a stretch, and him being drunk. I mean, that's also not that much of a stretch. They said that he wasn't. Like I think the couple, like Warner Bros. Said that he was, but still, he likes to drink.
Yeah,
I know that much.
Yeah, so a DC spokesperson actually did follow up with Variety and said Jason is known for treating members of his James Wan, because she also complained about James Wan. James Wan is known for treating members of his cast and crew with the utmost respect and fostering positive, collaborative, and environmental sets. And Aquaman is no exception. They also refused to comment when they were asked again for a follow-up statement. It's crazy. Last thing I'm going to say, and we can actually start talking about this. We know that Amber Heard was apparently going to be... Oh, Jesus, Jamie. We know that Amber Heard was sidelined in the sequel. Right. And we know that Walter Hamada is on record saying that she has no chemistry with Jason Momoa. Apparently, they were going to fire her, and Elon Musk stepped in and said no. And said that he would... Yeah. Elon, well, they dated during this time.
Oh, you're right. They did.
Mm-hmm. So, this is what the article says. Elon Musk apparently threatened Warner Brothers and said he would burn that company to the ground if they recast
all about burning companies too.
Yeah, that's what he's good at, right? The one thing he's good at.
Yeah.
So, that's why Mira's barely an Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom. That's something.
That's wild.
It is.
I didn't even hear the Elon thing. That's crazy as hell. Oh my God.
It's insane. What do you guys think of this madness? Christian, I'll start with you. Everything going on with this Aquaman 2 drama from today.
I just want to make sure It doesn't sound like I'm coming from like an Xbox 360 mic, does it?
Good. You're good.
Okay.
Good, man.
Last time I didn't realize I was watching the playback for the Naruto thing. I was like, oh my God, I didn't turn on my mic. For the Aquaman 2 thing, I mean, it's crazy. Like the whole Jason Momoa thing, I guess that's confirmed to be true. But like I have to care about a movie in order to it. I don't know. The whole thing's it sucks because you have, Jason Momoa doing his thing. I'm sure it's like super quote unquote harmless, but at the same time, not necessarily professional. And then you have Elon Musk coming in, butting in his business when he should be taking care of, Twitter. And, it's, I don't know. The whole
maybe
thing,
he didn't own Twitter at the time.
I was gonna say it's probably before he had Twitter, but
yeah, that's
the 2021 apparently.
Since they dated, it's just I don't know. I think people need to kind of stay in their lane just a little bit when it comes to this stuff. Honestly, I'm shocked that we're still getting this movie. I thought they would have just dumped it on Max and kept on trucking, but they are full tilt, full time with these. Getting the rest of these DC EU movies out and about. I mean, like they've already lost a lot of money. What's like, another million or whatever. But it's something. I kind of just want to watch the movie and then just like never watch it again. Like want to get past all of this. Just want to watch it. Be like, yep. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's just another DC movie. So, yeah,
a remnant of the past. That will stay in the past.
Yeah.
Trevon, what do you think of this mess?
Buckle in, guys.
I don't know. I just when I read this, I was like, oh, I don't want to sound offensive. I don't know how to like. It sounds like the same thing that was going on during the trial. Could they like? The things so some of the things that I was seeing like online today on the way people were using these therapy notes, they were saying like Jason Moore did this, and it's like they were saying like it was like a fact when it was really like notes that came from her therapist where she can say anything and they're taking it as like fact. Everybody else has confirmed this, like yes, we have like multiple like it's the way they're saying it, and they know how people don't click stuff. People just read whatever it said and they just run with it, and it's almost like I'm sorry. When I first read it, I was like, okay, so is this like a ploy to tarnish him? Because I didn't like it. I didn't appreciate it. I was like, what is this? Like everybody talking about you not being in the movie much, so this happens, and then you act like, oh, I didn't know this would get leaked. I'm like, did you or did you? I don't know. I just have a problem with it. I just don't. I'm not gonna sit here and believe like, oh, this was a violation. Kind of feel like he maybe allowed it to happen. That's just how I feel. Like for these type of notes to come out now, it's very interesting to me.
Yeah,
I didn't like it. I just don't like the whole discourse that's happening with this, and I've seen so many tweets, so many things that just like Jason Moore did this, and I was like, put it in context of where you getting it from. I don't like that, because now it's making it look like he's some terrible person that dressed up as Johnny Depp and came on set to deliberately mess with her. I don't like that. I was like, that's not okay. That's to put that on him. That's not cool. I don't like that. But this movie in general, like even like back when the trial, like you said, Hamada came in there and said that they had chemistry. It almost sounded like she was gonna be a sideline then. So I was like, this isn't a surprise that you are barely in the movie. And every time they asked them about the movie, they say it's a bromance or whatever. Like they keep buddy cop or whatever. They said it all the time now. Like they tried their best not to even mention her when they talk about the movie. So it just I didn't like it. I didn't like how I didn't like all the stuff that happened today. I didn't like this article. I didn't like the way they were spinning it. I just didn't like it at all. And it felt like a targeted thing to me. So, yeah, that's how. I'm excited for the movie. I mean, she's in it. She's not. I don't really care. Like, I'm gonna see the movie and then it'll be over.
Right,
and that's it.
It's so weird that no matter what movie except Blue Beetle, there's always going to be some drama or some expose or some hit piece that comes out around it. And yeah, Leo is in the chat saying it feels very TMZ. And
yeah, it does.
Again, if this is her therapist, like, again, why do we need to know this? I really don't understand it, and the timing is just very strange of it all too.
The movie comes out.
I'm not gonna say that she's lying, because again, these are private conversations allegedly with her therapist, but it's just very strange timing. I will say the Variety article also added, sources say that the sequel has endured challenges outside of the Herd saga and was testing in the 60s before being recut in summer 2022. Despite the overhaul, the film continued to test in the 60s, prompting an entirely new cut. One insider said, quote, "The movie is like the echo of regimes. It's the last remnant of the Snyderverse, and no one really wants to take ownership of it." The film also had reshoots right before the WGA strike in May, but one person close to the situation said that it was not a troubled production. It was just routine week-long reshoots, and the film was actually under budget. Which, with the amount of reshoots, I don't think I believe that. But
that part sounds like a lie.
I feel like they could reuse a lot of what they did in the first one. Like, I feel like they had to figure it out on the look and all of that, so I can see it maybe in the same, but like I don't see them needing to build anything
like the
or
assets
make anything.
They can just reuse.
Yeah, like I feel like they did a lot where it was beautiful then. I don't think they need to upgrade that at all. Like, it looked great. Use that again and just add more creatures. Like, it's fine. I just don't, I don't think they need to reinvent the wheel for this movie. I think they did all the pre-work in the first one. So
I get that. Joel, what are you thinking with this whole Aquaman 2 debacle?
I'm happy it's almost over. I've been dreading it, and not because I don't look forward to the movie, because I do. As a big fan of Jason Momoa's Aquaman, like, I really enjoyed the first Aquaman movie a lot. So like, this sequel I was looking forward to, but all this bad publicity has really dampened it. Now, there hasn't been as much drama as there was with The Flash, but there's still been a lot of drama. Like, that came out today with Amber. We knew Amber Heard and Aquaman, and then you had Ezra Miller with Flash. Those two movies were like destined to be destroyed. But luckily, you could hide Amber Heard a little bit better than you could Ezra, where he was like a double feature in his own movie. So much harder to do. And look, that's always going to hurt. But I think Aquaman also has a lot. There's more, let's say, positivity towards it because of the fact that the first movie did well and a lot of people enjoyed it, and they do like Jason Momoa as an actor. So they have that going for them. That's more of a push than some of the other movies had going into this year. Because as much as I think a lot of critics enjoyed Shazam 1, I'm not sure the fans enjoyed Shazam 1 mainly because people didn't either go see it or they just didn't think it was as fun as the other movies, Either way, I'm just happy to finally be done with Aquaman 2. The fact that they pushed it to the end of the year was dreadful, considering we were like, can we just end this universe now? Can we just end it now? Can we move forward? It would have been better if it was like before Blue Beetle, but it is what it is. We're finally here, and after everything we've heard today and things we've been hearing for a while, we can finally put it to bed. It'd be nice just to bury it in the sea where it belongs.
Let it drown. It makes perfect sense. The DCU is going out in a dumpster fire. That's fitting for this franchise at this point. It's so sad. Didge, what are your thoughts, bro?
It's exhausting, all of this. We should know less about each other, doubly so for celebrities. I can't wait till this is over.
Yeah.
It's so like, it feels like every day it's something. And I don't know. Let's get to December so this can be done with. That's really it. Like,
it really is.
Yeah. I think Leo put it best in the chat.
Yes,
we're ready to close the book.
So ready to close the book on this.
Mm-hmm.
He also says that the two lacked chemistry. Yeah, they did. They straight up did. Like, that was my biggest takeaway from that first movie was Jason Momoa was cool. The movie's visually stunning. Mira is terrible. She was the worst part of the movie, in my opinion. And so I would have been all for a recast. Fans were trying to recast her.
They were
ever since that movie came out. Really,
Yeah.
like how many Emilia Clarke fan arts have we seen over the last like 6 years?
Not enough.
They have.
That could still be.
That was me.
Not enough.
Yeah,
But yeah,
every day a new movie.
it's I'm tired of the whole thing. Like I just wanted. I'm glad that the other news came out today for DC, but they kind of confirms for
Also,
the old crew.
Yeah,
I mean, like
Not,
yeah, it's
not
sad to
all
see
the crew.
well, the main crew.
the main crew.
Yeah.
Wait,
The main crew.
yeah.
Oh, part 2 of the DC mess. Let's go, Trevon.
Part
in,
2
boys.
of the DC mess. The DCU is dead. Bury it.
Is it?
Consider this mercy.
Kill it if you have
Also
to.
coming from Variety, that same giant article. None of the stars cast by Zack Snyder for 2016's Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice and 2017's Justice League, including Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Ezra Miller, and Jason Momoa, will be reprising their roles in the DC universe. Momoa.
I'm sorry. I know.
That was me.
I had to put that in there. I'm sorry.
I don't agree with that
F's in
noise.
the F's in the chat for Trayvon and Zack Snyder's DC universe. Momoa may return, just not as Aquaman. Sources say the actor is engaged in talks to play Lobo, either in the 2025 reboot of Superman or in a solo film. Who wants to go first?
I'll jump in. I'm glad that this is going to be a thing. If you were going to reboot it, hard to reboot it. So saying that none of your major actors are coming back makes sense. I do remember I would have said I would have been okay if Jason Momoa would have stayed as Aquaman or if Gal Gadot would have stayed. But also it's like, yeah, just start all over. You really are better off, and I think Lobo will be a better fit for him anyway. So
Maybe.
I'm here for it.
One of his favorite characters, so it works
right
in that regard.
He's kind of playing Aquaman like Lobo anyway. When you think about it, like he doesn't really exude Aquaman energy.
Yeah, he redefined Aquaman as himself. Which the character kind of needed anyway. Let's be real.
Yeah, Aquaman was.
I don't know. I mean, the new 52 Aquaman was pretty good. I think.
He was.
Yeah, but I don't
think
enough people
but
remember.
People don't know that.
They know Aquaman as a dork.
Yeah, they know Aquaman as a joke. Unfortunately, and Jason Momoa changed that, bro. I think that we owe a lot to Zack Snyder's choice in making Jason Momoa Aquaman because it changed the world. Look, how much money did Aquaman make? That's unreal. That's unreal. That's just good for that character. The character needed that love, and he's a big reason why. Yeah. So it's sad to see him go, but at the same time, him as Lobo is like that. That was a fan cast way before Aquaman. So it's like it's inevitable. I think it's just I've been saying, look, this is all news we've heard. This is all stuff we've been hearing for a while. It's all stuff we've been speculating for months, and it's like. I've been saying for a while now it's going to be a hard reboot narratively and more of a soft reboot when it comes to the cast because the major characters should be replaced. Obviously, the Justice League. Those are the pillars of the movie universe that we're going to get should be new faces. All the minor ones, take them or leave them. But we'll get like a handful. I'm fine with that, right? But like with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash. Unfortunately, we never got a Green Lantern. Aquaman. Those characters should start fresh with this new universe.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like to me that and we've said this here, we've said this on other streams, on other channels. It feels like James Gunn just couldn't tell us because there were 4 DC movies coming out this year.
I mean, we do this.
Right. Like, hey guys, sorry that none of these movies are going to be canon. Go watch them anyway. Like, how is he supposed to handle that situation? And we can argue that he could have just been straight up and said it from the beginning, because I'm of the mindset, if the movie's good, I don't care if it's canon or not, or in continuity. Like, if you give me a great Flash movie, I'm here for a good Flash movie.
Right.
I don't care if it's in continuity or out continuity, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we can talk about if he should have handled that differently or better, but I think we all understood that they were going to reboot. It made sense to reboot, especially when Superman was recast. It'd be very weird to recast Superman and keep the rest of the Justice League the same.
It would always be weird,
Yeah.
Arkwinder's in the chat. Right quick. Just remember, if you're ever feeling bad about your life,
that's hilarious.
And sip so much for your ex friend to buy Warner Brothers.
Just remember, don't let any of this distract you from the fact that the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead during the championship against the Caps. I just wanted to throw that out there just to break the ice a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's about to get right back tense. Trevon still ain't went yet.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But
Trevon, do you want to go next or do you want to go last?
I'll go now. I just, look, I get it. I know we want to. They're the Justice League. Yes, they're going to get recast. That's fine. But I just don't like people throwing around the DCEU is dead. It's not true, because all the characters in DCEU are not done. They're not all done. Sorry, Suicide Squad still exists.
I have a rebuttal.
Peacemaker still exists. Like, I don't know why. Like, they're not dead. It's not dead. It's not. So it's just, maybe soft reboot. You can say that, sure, I guess. I don't know. I just want James Gunn to just say it with your chest. Just, get rid of all of James. James Gunn was gonna come out and say, get rid of all Zack Snyder shit. Just say it. Just say you hate him and just move on. Get the heat from it.
That took such a lead.
Just say it. Just say it. Just go ahead. Just throw it out there and just stand on it. Take that heat. And by the time your movie come out in 2027, we'll
2025.
It's getting pushed. 2027. But yeah, good. Then we'll be nice and happy.
The Lawrence
it's not dead unless all the characters are gone. I'm not going to never accept that until all the characters are gone.
But okay, so what if those instances of the characters are gone, but they're literally, you want them to cast the best person for the role?
I'm about to say.
Okay, go ahead.
Don't say characters. He doesn't own those characters. It's a DC characters. The actors is what you mean, right? Is that what you mean?
Sure, yeah.
That's more correct.
Yeah.
All right. All the actors
recast everybody. Not
right. That's
not
very different than those
just
characters, because he owns none of those characters. It all belongs to DC.
Okay. I want to just take a second though and acknowledge that what is the movie called? Right, it's called Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's his vision. That's his interpretation of those characters.
Mm-hmm.
This is now James Gunn's interpretation of those characters, and it makes sense. And the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker are franchises he's already been working on, and so it's way easier for him to fold in those ideas into his own universe than it would be somebody else's. That's been the problem the entire time.
When I see it,
all these different people. We'll have to wait and see, but all these people have been 2026 because we had a strike. The actors still can't work.
They can by next year if we're lucky.
Right, they might film it all next year.
I mean, there was one that rushed
like that.
On a strike again.
What about the VFX workers? You want them to rush like that? Hold on.
Well, he's making sure they don't start till 2027. That's not that. You suffer too, Trevon, not just them.
I mean, I got other stuff to watch.
You sure? You'd be behind on a lot. So maybe.
No, but that's been the DCU's problem, is that Zack established a universe, and then Zack left, and then all these other people were trying to play in the sandbox, and it never worked, and it never felt like Zack's universe, and it never felt like anybody else's original vision. And so it was just this hodgepodge of movies that came out that were loosely connected, and it was awful, and we all generally disliked what they were doing. Whether you wanted Zack to come back or you wanted a full reboot, nobody was happy. So James Gunn wanting to just make his own universe with his own characters, even if he's including characters he's worked with before. I don't think anybody's that hung up about Amanda Waller and Peacemaker generally. You know, like, I don't think anybody cares that much. Whereas, you know, Ben Affleck didn't want to be here. Huh?
We are legit podcasting with someone who cares a lot.
Oh, yeah. 1 out of 4.
About
6. Good numbers.
My point isn't caring if they're coming back. My point is, if Viola Davis and Amanda Waller, like, that's fine. That's like getting J.K. Simmons back as J. Jonah Jameson. It's like, sure, yeah. I'm not hung up about if you recast that role or if you don't. She's good in the role. It's a character I don't care if I ever see again. It's kind of take or leave it. Like, Waller's okay. She's cool, I guess. Same with Peacemaker. Yeah. But the Justice League is what matters. And that's what they had to fix. So, like, that's my take on it. But, Didge, what about you?
No, I mean, like I said, I'm glad it's happening. I think you kind of needed to start fresh, start anew. Just because we don't recast J. Jonah. That's funny. But no, you needed to recast, start anew, just so you can sort of build your own legacy.
Yeah.
So,
pun intended.
Not actually. That was great.
Good catch.
You are muted.
Jamie, I think he's asking about you.
Yep,
Jamie.
I saw Jamie.
Jamie, you can't stick around much longer. Did you have any thoughts on Superman and all the Justice League being rebooted, essentially?
I'm sure Trevon has probably said this, even though I didn't hear him say this. I think it's weird that, some people say, some people don't. But I'm not going to get mad about it at the end of the day because, why would I be mad about something I can't change? I'm pretty open to the castings that they have now. I'm not a big, casting person, so I can't be like, no, why would you pick this person? This person was obviously better kind of thing, But, I'm going to just put faith in James Gunn. It's hard to I can't even say so far he's done a good job because he's not saying Blue Beetle is the beginning, so it's he did that to himself. But I liked Blue Beetle regardless of the success.
He said it was, and then he's like, it's not.
Yeah,
no,
I'm whatever, man, whatever.
It's confusing.
I'm sure if it was a hit, he'd probably be like, that was part of us. That's it. But
that was us.
it is what it is. I really enjoyed Blue Beetle. I'm glad that everybody that was in that is going to be coming back. Everybody that was alive by the end is going to be coming back. And
I mean, if it's a reboot, the folks who weren't alive at the end might come back too. You don't know. For sure.
I don't know how I feel about that. That would be like you had to do that whole character development again. And we saw the WandaVision and then the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, how that worked out. Telling that story again.
That wasn't a reboot though. That was just bad storytelling.
It wasn't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I feel like that would be bad storytelling to try and do it again. But I'm not in these rooms making these decisions, so I will just consume whatever is given to me. Jason Momoa as Lobo. I'm here for it. I'm kind of the craziness that's going on with him. I don't know what to think of him anymore. So I almost feel like I can't say.
You missed Trayvon's rebuttal. So you should have came earlier.
I know.
She'll have to watch the playback.
I wish I could have been here. I really do. I will watch this back.
Let Trayvon walk you through that. You'll feel better afterward.
Hopefully, because I do feel. I don't know. It seems like all the people that I've been enjoying, it's always like, you like me, but I did this little thing. And it's like, oh my God, why? So, oopsies. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any strong feelings about the casting so far either way. I'm willing to give everybody a shot before, saying like, yeah, I love them or not the best fit. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, James. Keep the streak going and claim Blue Beetle.
To quote Artwinder in the chat, we said it once, we'll say it again. Let James Gunn cook. That's all we gotta do. We gotta let him cook. Let him cook a little bit. I'm gonna be completely honest. I lost the thread. I don't know who's all gone yet. So whoever wants to talk about this, jump in now.
I will talk. Give my 2 piece on this. So this is my reaction to the DC EU being dead. We're just gonna pass that over. This is my reaction to James Gunn and the new cast of the DC studios. Because we're up in here, it's gonna be super fire.
We outside.
You only got 2.
I mean, I know Trevon probably doesn't want to hear this. I do consider the DCEU just dead because Warner Brothers held on to all of these characters for the Justice League for so long. And even though Man of Steel didn't do well box office wise, it automatically became like it's a cult classic, it just in general. But they held on to Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, like all of these actors for so long, and they didn't do anything with them for like 10 years. And we kept getting like this hodgepodge of what the DCEU was, because during the beginning they saw what Marvel was dealing with. They're like, oh, well, we're on the other side, like we're the other side of that coin. So let's just see what they have to do. I kid you not, I didn't know anything about the Justice League movie until like maybe 2 weeks before it came out. I was like, what? When did this happen? Because Avengers came out and then DC was just trying to play catch up. And I think them nuking this entire DCEU and just starting fresh is what they need to do. Like, I mean, it's sad that Henry Cavill's not coming back, but again, Warner Brothers kind of shot themselves in the foot with that. They did the same thing with Ben Affleck. They did the same thing with Cyborg, even though he's not my favorite Cyborg. Ray Fisher, they didn't treat him as well as they could have. So Warner Brothers has continuously shot itself in the foot by holding on to these people and not doing anything, teasing that Henry Cavill is going to come back, trying to get The Rock involved, and then saying, JK, pulling the rug underneath all the fans. It's like we need structure, because I'm glad that James Gunn kind of just came out and said this, because if he didn't, I was going to say that like this is exactly what got us in the mess in the first place that we're in now, because of all this uncertainty. But it seems that James Gunn has a plan. As soon as I walk out of the theater for Aquaman 2, I will no longer consider the DCEU even like a thing anymore. But that's just me. Like, it sucks that some people aren't coming back. I absolutely love, obviously, Henry Cavill. We've already talked about him, but even with Gal Gadot, like, she was like a phenomenon, especially for a female character. And I think she plays the part well. But like, I want to see someone else take these roles, because not like a person shouldn't own or just have like, as much control over like one role, like how we've kind of seen with Disney and like Luke Skywalker. There's always been the talk of, oh, should they recast? Definitely think that they should, because it's like, you got to give other people a chance. And I'm excited to see what James Gunn does with, I guess we're starting with Superman Legacy. That's like the official start, and I guess Blue Beetle's like the soft reboot.
Creature Commandos is the
Creature Commandos. Is that coming out before Superman Legacy?
Nothing this year is canon. Just
Creature
keep
Commandos.
That in mind. Nothing this year is canon.
So like I said, as soon as I walk out of the theaters of Aquaman 2, DCU, bye.
Damn. I'm hoping I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah,
like I said, if it's good, great. If not, it's just
good.
another DC.
I think it will be good, hopefully, and I think
it'll
probably make more money than any of the other DC movies that came out this year.
I did like Blue Beetle though. I thought Blue Beetle.
Not
Blue Beetle. I love Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle will probably be the best of them.
You said it's not hard.
That's it is. It isn't hard. It isn't hard.
Three of these DC movies. All three of these movies made negative money. Aquaman needs to make $1.
The Flash was like the worst flop ever.
Oh man,
terrible.
That's rough.
I'm still mad. Whoever out there made that random comment saying that the Flash was as good as the Dark Knight, I want to know. Because I kept hearing that everywhere, and I don't know where it came from.
Was it James?
I never saw that. I
never saw that. I'm glad I never. I'm glad you brought that to my attention.
James Gunn also did say it was one of the best superhero movies he's ever seen.
Yeah, man.
Tom worked on the best Marvel movies.
He was just selling it.
Yeah, they kept getting all these random celebrities. Oh, like Tom Cruise, The Flash. I don't care what Tom Cruise thinks.
I know. That's kind of what made me feel like it was bad after a while. It's like, why are all these people saying this movie is good?
They're trying to triple down on
I got
this.
nervous.
And I mean, if they're going to bring back Momo as Lobo, cool, whatever. I mean, I guess recastings are cool. I kind of just want new people all together because I'm tired of seeing the same faces and nothing's.
Hold on now, not too much now. More Jason.
Yeah, I haven't seen Jason.
I like Jason Momoa. I'm just saying, just give me someone else. Give me a new person.
I feel that though.
As Lobo.
I got tired of seeing The Rock for a little while.
I was too.
Hey, not too much.
What? That is not a thing.
I didn't say I disliked him. I'm just saying I was like, damn, why is he in everything?
Remember he was wearing the same Ford.
I didn't say he didn't either. I'm just saying.
Trevon about to hate
y'all. Not about to get on my man now. Hold on.
I'm not hating on him. I'm just like, I need to see somebody else for a minute.
To save Jamie's life, she about to start a fight here with Trevon, and he's literally gonna see her in person in 3 days. She needs to watch out.
Right. Hey man, listen. I run these streets. Don't try and start nothing.
This needs to be your bodyguard. Look at you. She New York tough now.
Don't start nothing. It won't be nothing, Trevon.
Hey, I can open my phone up.
All I'd say is just let the
past die. No phones. No phones allowed.
Geekly Goods asks a great question in the chat. Should they have just rebooted after Batman vs. Superman 7 years ago?
Yes.
That's crazy.
No.
Yes.
No. Maybe.
No.
Yes.
I'm saying yes.
That would have been silly. No.
Maybe.
What they shouldn't have done is reacted as crazy as they did. That's what ended up leading to the demise of DCU. Anyway.
That was the second film.
That's what I mean. How you?
What was that Wonder Woman?
The third was Suicide Squad. So I will say no, they shouldn't have rebooted after BVS. They should have rebooted after Suicide Squad.
I agree with
then that. You guys like Wonder Woman. You wouldn't have got that.
I do like Wonder Woman.
You wouldn't have got that.
Maybe we could have got it just different.
They should have regrouped after and then made better decisions.
That's fair.
They allowed directors to do what they were trying to do.
They murdered Superman in the second movie.
Yeah, that was also crazy.
I'm sorry. That's correct. Like you're saying, hey,
while people are
asking, the second movie, they decided to take the biggest leap of all time.
I think there's a world where that
it's like they're just rushing to the
if
good
they had
stuff.
planned things out, but they did not.
We could obviously see they were trying to rush to get to the Justice League.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, they saw what Marvel was doing.
Like, hurry up.
They saw everything. Like Civil War was out. I was so excited for BVS. I kid you not. I was
too.
I was extremely disappointed when I walked out of that theater.
Did you see the Ultimate Edition?
I did. It does. It makes a little bit better, but you can't polish a turd, in my opinion. But it makes it just a little bit better. But it's not really saying much. It's I'll just go back and watch Civil War. It's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good.
That
or if you want a real Batman vs Superman, go watch The Dark Knight Returns because it's an awesome movie, and that is how you do a Batman v Superman.
I like live action.
Well, if you're gonna actually do that one episode of Superman the animated series with Batman. When World's Finest. That was that's a good way to do it. And they don't have to like be at odds. Because remember, Dark Knight Returns is literally at the end of the careers, at least Batman's career. You know what I mean? Why would you start your universe with Batman on the brink of retirement? It makes no sense.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, it was like 6 minutes. It was like what 6-7 minutes they fought. Either way, an entire movie for 6 minutes of fighting.
Yeah. The worst part is I didn't even hate the damn movie. My problem was the direction after the movie. That was my issue. Yeah.
And it's Zack Snyder, it's whatever. But hey, people like it. More power to them. It's just not for me.
Yeah, that's every movie.
Perspective.
The reason I'm very much on the reboot side of things, and we can move on after this. The BVS was a disappointment. Like it had at the time, it had the biggest drop between its first week and the second weekend in movie history. So people rushed to see it, and it was like 75% that second weekend, and it was insane. And so that was very, very scary for the brand. And then Justice League comes out, and we can argue about the quality of the theatrical cut of Justice League all day. It doesn't matter. But like that movie didn't make any money when its opening weekend. It didn't make money. So
that was the beginning.
People weren't rushing to see
it. By then they already had no goodwill. The movie didn't help, and then everything kind of fizzled afterwards. Let's be real.
I want to make sure we get it right.
At Wonder Woman and Aquaman.
It was 81%.
I mean, like Didge is right though. If we didn't shovel through like 2 crap movies, we would not have gotten the first Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And as much as I love that movie, it's one good film in a sea of awfulness.
Yeah.
Like, because even the sequel,
the sequel wasn't all that. Yeah, I was gonna say the sequel was not good.
The sequel
was awful.
The first 20 minutes, I absolutely loved. Everything else, I'm good. Like everything after the mall fight, I was like, no, this is not for me. My mom, like, she watched. I was like, Mom, we gotta watch the new Wonder Woman. Like, I was so excited. She was like, she didn't even watch the first Wonder Woman, and she was like, she did not like that movie. She's like, there's too much stuff going on. She's like, why are there all these body swapping stuff? She's like, is this stuff you watch? I'm like, no. No. I just heard about it from a friend, you know?
I just remember that scene when she was like running beside that car, how bad it looked.
It's like, can she fly? Can she not? She was like Spider-Man.
Oh, I didn't say it. See? There we go. So I said it. Yes.
The fight with Cheetah.
We knew you were waiting for it.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
The fight with Cheetah, they fought in the dark like the whole time.
Man,
and it wasn't even like it wasn't even dark. It was sunlight outside, but it was so dark on the screen. I'm like, how did that happen?
That was dark because she looked like a cat's ripoff.
Listen, if you didn't want to try harder, let me see your effort.
Seriously,
let me see what you did.
They were like,
let me fully judge this.
You sound like such a disappointed.
You can barely see Cheetah.
Give me the Cheetah cut.
It's for the best.
I want the lights on.
Maybe it's for the best.
With a lightning, pull her ass up in the air. Oh shit! Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just let the past die. Let's just move forward.
Kill it if we have to.
I mean, this year didn't do it, then I don't know what will.
We're gonna have a funeral, a burial service, a memorial.
Well, this is why I like
extended universe in December.
Are we right after the movie? We're gonna come out with candles.
I need everybody dressed to the nines for this one.
Seriously,
I got
your best funeral garb.
Hey, best.
We're all black. Camo is camo.
Oh God, it's a mess. I hate everything.
This is why it's good to have the year plus break.
Yeah.
They need it. You know.
Yep.
They got to recoup. They need a plan.
You need people that actually yearn it again. You know, you were getting shit too quickly. You're like, wow, it's been a while since we've seen these. This is gonna happen at some point. You go, it's been a minute. You're sitting there.
You're right.
I'm very happy.
That's kind of the Marvel problem of like them having so many things coming out on a seasonal basis. Like Loki came out, I'm like, I actually missed Marvel, and Loki came out and I was happy. And then I realized, oh, I didn't watch Secret Invasion. That's why it feels like it's been gone longer than it actually has.
It's
like, like you need a chance to miss it. It makes it a little bit nicer.
You do
I agree.
It makes the heart grow fonder.
It's like how Star Wars used to be, where like it was an event, like, you know, or Marvel, like it was a big event where started doing TVs, like, oh, like we're gonna go see Civil War, we're gonna go see Spider-Man Homecoming, like it was, you know, but like I think the Marvel's definitely straight. But we're not here to talk about Marvel. Sorry,
You're welcome.
Can we make a video? We need half the profits of that video, Leo.
What your channel's monetized. I definitely need half the profits for this.
That's hilarious.
We need a eulogy.
Man. We've got one more topic.
What's the last topic?
We got one more.
Bang.
Oh, dang, did y'all get through all of them?
We got through all of them. We're going for a very long time.
I'll tell you.
Don't worry, we saved the best.
The bus, not the price. I love it. I love it.
Here we go.
He saved the best for last.
Oh God, Joel and Christian gonna fight. The Xbox hater versus the PlayStation hater.
Player hater versus PlayStation player hater. 2023 round 1 fight. We've got a slim.
I just want to
PlayStation.
want to point out that they spelled I feel like they spelled separately wrong, or am I wrong?
Oh, I'm not the person to ask. I spell separately wrong all the time.
Okay, never mind then.
In the corner.
Nope. Yep. That looks.
That looks Jake. It looks Jake.
Yeah,
missing an A.
I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I can't spell those, so like.
That's wrong.
Check. Yeah.
It's just something I noticed. I was like, wait. I thought because I have like a little bit like dyslexia.
Is this
so I was like, am I looking at this wrong, or am I?
This is from PlayStation.
You're right. Yeah, you're wrong. Yeah, that's wrong. That's wrong.
Is it really?
Yeah. They're missing an A, and it's bad. They're missing.
And the E is supposed to
letters.
be after the T.
Xbox would never.
Reverse the T and the E and add an A. You got it.
Well, that was not. I was just saying. It's literally something I noticed because it was right there. Like I'm at. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I
know what you mean, Christian. Xbox would never.
They updated.
Xbox has spell check. They got Cortana. They're coming correct.
Oh God,
Joel, they're double teaming you. You got to defend your homies. What's up with the PlayStation?
People want to play PlayStation. I don't have to defend them.
Hey, people on PlayStation that don't spell things right.
So
we educated
know how
over
to
here.
spell to play a game. Trust me, I know plenty.
I guess
I'll also use the hard R over there if we being real on Xbox chats. So
Xbox chats be mad.
I feel like they'd be using that.
Hey, it's not
though.
exclusive to Xbox.
I don't know.
That's America's system.
It's Call of Duty.
That's what I'm hearing.
I don't know. The online players started with Xbox. I don't know. It started with y'all.
It's America, not America. America's system.
Yeah, I said this before. Nobody's behind me, but now we're talking about racism. It's America's system.
They got it, bro. They got your back, Jamie, until they see your face.
Yeah.
From the PlayStation blog.
Damn. This hurts.
Take it away, Mike.
That hurt me. I'm sorry. I instigated that whole thing.
That was great. I loved all of that.
Do not open this can of worms.
Coming from the PlayStation blog, they say, quote, as the holiday season approaches, we are excited to share that we have a new PS5 model launching. To address the evolving needs of players, our engineering and design teams collaborated on a new form factor that provides greater choice and flexibility. The same technology features that make PS5 the best to play are packed into a smaller form factor, along with a attachable Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive and 1 terabyte SSD for more internal storage. The PS5 Slim disc drive is $499.99 USD, and the digital edition is $449.99.
So they raised that $50.
They raised it $50, but you can also purchase. You can purchase a Blu-ray attachment for it if you ever change your mind and you want to upgrade it for like $50. So.
Or if you want to buy a stand for $30.
I mean, you get
it. They did change the stand a little bit.
But. Yeah,
the new what did Greg Miller say earlier, Mike? I forgot what it was.
I don't know. Greg Miller says a lot of things. You know, I get lost in the sauce.
There's like the vertical stand you have to buy separately now.
But I think you get the same stand that you got with the original one. And as someone who can turn to look at their PlayStation right now, mine is sitting vertical.
Yeah, that's okay. So that makes no sense then. What is they selling?
I think it's still going to. This is a more premium stand. You can see it's showing the metal versus this one is plastic.
Yeah, it is.
That's what I'm saying. They're giving you a premium stand.
Be more clear about that
with a plastic one.
Because that's the question that a lot of people are asking. Why do I need to buy the stand now? They need to be more clear about that.
If you want a more premium one, because this one, when on the box, it says that this one is a horizontal stand. But like I said, you can stand your system up with it.
So the new Slim comes with a plastic.
Yeah, it comes with the vertical, the horizontal stand, which I have to. Obviously, we haven't seen it yet. I have to assume it's just the same stand.
Oh no, I was talking about the vertical stand.
Maybe it doesn't come with like the screw that you can use to like make your system stand up or something.
I didn't know there was a screw that came with it. Mine is just sitting.
You don't have your screw, dude?
No, mine is just sitting on that stand.
Oh my god!
It is. I can turn.
The screw is inside the stand. You just pull it out.
Yeah, you gotta.
Oh my god!
That is so dangerous. It's just been sitting here. It fit into the little grooves and everything. I was like,
he said perfect. That's it for me.
I was like, oh
yeah. There's a little. Yeah, man, you gotta tie that thing down.
Well, yeah, we living on the edge over here.
Yeah, you are.
Literally.
That is hilarious.
Wow.
He said, "Oh, there's a screw." This is how Jamie and Mike felt when they were like, "Oh, do you have any fairies while playing Tears of the Kingdom?"
Like, yeah, what? Yeah,
yeah. That's
how did you make it this far?
That was crazy.
I don't know how you made it that far, my guy. How did you make it that far?
I'm just that good.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, their website has it spelled correctly too. I think they updated.
They must have updated it.
Yeah, they must have updated.
Has the wrong one.
Man.
That's right.
The tweet still has it. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now that looks more. That looks right.
So I mean, I'll go first. Just to. So we kind of knew this was coming from the leaks.
Hate out early.
From the leaks that were the small little leaks that were coming out, and no one really knew if that was like a real thing or not. And they're not necessarily marketing this as the PlayStation Slim, even though they say, oh, it's 30% smaller and a slimmer form factor. But that's just, usually within like the third or fourth year of PlayStation, traditionally speaking, they've came out with a slimmer, more cost-efficient console. So we kind of knew this was coming out because, when I first heard about the rumors, like, oh, yeah, it's going to have a detachable disk drive. And I was like, that's so odd, like
$80 for the disk drive, by the way.
Yeah. So it's kind of it's weird. Like, I know early today I was like frantically yelling, but like, I've done some research, but it's weird because they're sneakily updating or increasing the price of the all digital. Like, I'm not sure if this is like, is this a push for all digital or is this a push to keep physical around? Because there's a reason why they have two systems, but it's odd to me that the all digital is going from $400 for the LG PlayStation to $450, and you're getting a terabyte worth of memory versus I think the one now has like 825 gigabytes total, but around maybe 175 gigabytes of that is reserved for the operating system. So you're really only left with around like 600 something gigabytes total of storage use. So if this new terabytes if it's a full terabyte, let's just say that it takes up like 175, you have around like 800 gigabytes to use, which is fine. But it's weird how they're increasing the price of the all digital Slim, but they're not increasing the price of the new disc Slim. I'm confused. Is what I am. Because like obviously, new people who are coming into the market, they're going to see this and like, oh, well, I want that. It's like, okay, well, you can pay the same amount for, I have a PS5 with a disc drive in it. because I watched like Blu-rays off of it and stuff. But it's just weird. Like, why did the disc version of the Slim not change in price, but the digital one did? And they're both a terabyte. And the digital one, I don't know.
The digital one's
weird.
Customizable though, because you can add a disc drive to it. So that's probably
you're paying for that.
Well, because couldn't you say the same for the disc one? Because if you're like, hey, like I don't feel like using my disc drive or whatever, like I need to save a little bit more space on my entertainment system, I guess you could just remove the drive, couldn't you? But I guess you would have to buy another faceplate part.
I don't know.
I don't know if you can actually. I think that's I think that's sort of what Mike is saying is the benefit, where it's all of this stuff all together, quote unquote, should cost $430, but because you're essentially bundling it, we're going to give you a discount.
So the Slim, the PS5 Slim with the disc drive, that's not removable?
I don't think so.
I would assume no.
I would assume not. Like, I think they just showed you like the inside
because I
you can change the covers.
Just poof. I guess we need to see when it comes out to see if it is removable if you get the disc.
I don't know.
Because if that's the case, why have that cut in the middle for the disc one? Why not just do it for the digital? If that makes sense.
I mean, either way, it's still the same principle of you're buying these as a bundle together, right, versus you buying them separately. Like someone who they bought the digital at the time because maybe they didn't have the space.
Right.
Later on, they decided, oh, I got the space now. I do need this. They didn't buy it as a bundle. It's typical marketing, essentially. Buy in bulk or buy bundles, and you get a better deal than versus trying to buy separately, buying a la carte, essentially.
Yeah, I see. Yeah,
I assume it has the cut down like 3/4 of the console just as an aesthetic choice at this point, because who would want to take off the disc drive?
Yeah, if you bought
I get adding it on.
Yeah,
but like,
I'll be surprised if you can. Like, obviously, we need to wait for it to come out whenever, influencers and stuff, when they send it out to them. That's what we need to figure out. Because that's why I was wondering. I'm like, oh, well, like, why have that? Why not just market the all disc, the digital PlayStation 5? It's like, hey, you can have a detachable one. Like, oh, that makes sense. But to also recreate another one that I'm assuming that you can take it off just by the picture, but I don't really know. But like, it's
this is
inevitable.
That stand, by the way.
Yeah,
that's not really like that great. I would not pay extra money for that if I already had a stand.
I don't need this.
So it is confirmed that a stand does come with the PS5 Slim.
I don't know if we confirmed that.
No, the blog says horizontal stand. It's just we don't know how that horizontal stand looks.
Yeah,
we saw. I saw a small little picture of it. Well, it's kind of hidden, but it looks like a little. Okay, so horizontal.
This right?
Yeah, that thingy.
Do you think it's literally that little stick right there? Oh, never mind then.
Yeah,
I mean, it's still a stand that comes in the
I
box.
was trying to figure out if it came with like a vertical, like a plastic stand, like we have with our PlayStation 5s now. But I think this makes more sense for people who don't have a PS5. It just you guys already know. It's just kind of weird how it's not cheaper, because it's like, why? I don't. It is what it is.
I don't think
weird.
it's not trying to be cheaper. This is just the new model of the PS5.
Yeah, because they said like once the original model of the PS5 sells out, like this.
Yeah, this is going to be the new
base model. So that makes sense.
I guess I was looking at traditionally speaking, because if you look at the PlayStation 4, that was $400. The Slim came out, they knocked it down $100. Same performance.
I see what you're saying, but it's also like we're very much so like at least this generation, if not last generation, like we're kind of done with traditions. Like this generation, it might be a little bit longer than usual just because of the slow start for
for next gen in general.
Yeah, for next gen in general, and definitely on the like software side of things. But as far as looking at just like where the gaming space is heading, like people are putting a lot of money into cloud gaming, and a lot of money into like these digital spaces like the metaverse, things like that, but also just like digital only gaming. Because we talked about amongst ourselves, and like a lot of us, like most of our library is digital at this point now. Even if we have a collection of physical games, like when is the last time that you actually bought a physical game? Like it's been a long time for us, and I think for just the public in general. So things are starting to shift, and I think these traditions are going to have to either get with the times, or we're probably going to like not have these things that we've been used to for so long, just because of the way that this space has been changing so much.
Yeah. And like I said, like if you own a PS5, I don't really see the point, especially if you already have one with a disc drive.
Well, I was gonna say if you're digital, I could see it.
But yeah, I mean, I have one with the disc drive, and I still go mostly digital. I have like a handful of like PS5 games that are disc based, but those are just like, it's really just like The Last of Us for 1 and 2. But most of my games are digital, so it's like, I mean, I kind of just use my disc drive as like a Blu-ray player. So
4K.
What was that?
But yeah.
I mean, apparently,
sorry, I took over the whole thing. I was just confused about a few things. That's all.
I mean, based on what the Verge is saying, it sounds like the drive is just detachable in general, like even on the disc drive one. So
yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out.
It must be easy to do then, because I can see so many problems stemming from that. And I know, just like me personally,
it looks like it just kind of pops in.
Yeah,
I will say
that's
this.
What it looks like,
easier to get to like what you need to, because even on the other side. Like that might be where, like, if you have like an NVMe drive, it might be easier to get to on that other side.
That's true.
You just pop it off.
Right now, you got like move in and pop.
Now we got to.
It's kind of scary now. We got to take it off.
It is terrifying.
It's a little. I had
to send in my PS4 to get it fixed because the disk drive wasn't working. So I wonder, like, have they consumer proofed this? Whereas, like, the wear and tear.
They're like, just pop out your disk drive. You'll be fine.
Yeah, like, am I gonna be playing my PS5 one day and then the disk drive just falls off the console? Like,
no. But yeah, so yeah, it's a little scary. I mean, it's just getting the side plates off now are a little hard.
Trevon, what were you asking?
I don't know if we have the information yet, but I'm saying I'm just wondering, can this digital drive be used for the drive? Can it be used for the digital that people already have?
I
wonder.
Pull up that picture. I don't think so. It didn't.
I don't think it looks different.
I don't think it has a cable.
One they're showing in the drive coming off. It looks
so like if the drive is detachable on the one that's already like it has the disk drive built in. That makes me feel like you could buy a digital PS5 and get this disk drive, and you can make it like a PS5 that has a disk drive, essentially like the same thing. Like I don't see why you couldn't take this off of like this model of the PS5, take the panel off the digital only and plug this disk drive in and put on the same cover. Mine wouldn't work.
This is why I think it's more of what like Didge was saying. Maybe it's like because like the digital one is $449. This one is $499. You might as well go for this one. If you want to take it off, take it off. Like,
and then you had to buy like another like fraction of a side plate, I guess.
You'd have to buy.
You're gonna have to buy a whole another 4-player.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's the thing that's concerning to me is the face plates. Like, since we're tweaking the model and the design and the cuts on the side here, are the face plates not gonna fit? The one like the Spider-Man, they just sold.
That's not. Oh no,
right?
No.
I can already tell you that I have the dimensions of the current one, and when you were scrolling down, I was looking at them. This is already it's already shorter because both of the current ones are 390 millimeters, and I think when you were scrolling down before, I want to say it said it was 356. So while it's not super significant, it's definitely markedly shorter. It's not going to fit.
Yeah,
but
the ones you have already.
The Spider-Man one today too, like a Spider-Man Slim.
I'm honestly most.
I was surprised about that too.
I was like, huh, okay.
The interesting thing about this is Sony has been sneakily making them thinner or just way less since launch. Like when I looked up the dimensions, it has the weight. Every year it got lighter. Like it didn't get crazily lighter, but every year it just slimmed down a little bit.
They've been changing the internal a little bit too.
Yeah,
as it's been going along. So like kind of like Nintendo was doing too.
Yeah, that's probably what everybody does. Yeah, a little bit.
It makes sense.
Especially, yeah, that's why some people they like wait until after launch to buy their consoles and stuff because you know they'll release like the PS5 2.0 or whatever, 2.5. It's kind of that thing. So even though it's not like a mid-generation upgrade or anything, it's like the little things that they've seen, like the issues that they've seen users run into, they'll be able to fix some of those.
So do you guys think we'll get a Pro?
96 and
yeah, I don't know.
Like now, since we're getting this, I'm curious to see how small this is versus the ones that we have. But
I'm waiting to see a comparison of these specs to the one we have now. See if there's any.
Because I'm pretty sure I think it's the same specs. I don't know if this one is necessarily more powerful, but
I would doubt it because I feel like that's a marketable feature.
Wants to pull up,
I'm looking at
the
I'm looking at them now. There's no
we can compare.
There's no difference. The only difference is the SSD. It might be they're both still Zen 2 chips. They both still have the same AMD.
They might have changed like the thermal stuff in it.
That could be true. Same amount of RAM.
It's the same. Got it.
It's the same.
Yeah,
like every way that matters, it's the same.
Like, because I know for sure if it was more powerful in any kind of way, that definitely would have been in the press release.
Yeah, if it had a different system on a chip, that would have been number one.
Yeah, like, even if it was like we're like 0.2% faster now. Pull a Final Fantasy, you get a 10% upgrade on your.
You can now run Final Fantasy 16.
Oh really? Or wait, you can't?
No. I was saying, I was making a joke. Now can run Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah.
They might have sneakily made the fan better, or like I said, the heatsink or something in there.
Because they released like a new version esque of like the PS5 that we have now. I mean, it's like cheaper parts, but yeah, like they always do that. It's like small little changes. Even like the Nintendo Switch, like the original, there was one with like a slightly better battery. But like everything else is the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It is what it is.
It's interesting. It's interesting indeed. See, it makes me it's tough being an Xbox sometimes, you know, because like you see the Xbox leaks and people are like, oh my god, why would Microsoft do all digital? What's wrong with them? Blah blah. And then PlayStation's like, welcome to all digital, and people are like, oh okay, cool. I don't really like the stand, but like I'll get it. And it's like
not
shut
all
up,
digital,
shut up.
You can just
say it's not all.
Pop the disk drive on it.
I mean, you can do the same thing with the Xbox. Like, you know,
do it? Can we?
You get a disk drive. You might get a disk drive. You may or may not. We'll see.
Well, there's that leak of like the new Xbox Series X where it's like 2 terabytes all digital, whatever it is. But
yeah,
I've actually seen people who have like a PS5 Slim. Does anyone here? I mean, not a Slim, but an all digital. Does anyone here have an all digital PS5? You do?
Mm-hmm.
So I saw people, they were attaching Blu-ray drives, like external Blu-ray drives to it. But it recognized like a movie, but it would not play it.
Weird.
I have a Blu-ray player, so I didn't care.
So same. Yeah, I have like a dedicated one as well. But yeah, I just thought that was odd.
Yeah, that is strange.
It's like, I thought that would be a pretty cool like thing. Like, hey, just plug in something if you really want a disk drive. But I guess this is the way around it. It's just, I guess, why the extra $50 for an all digital? I guess it is for that kind of, you know.
They say that their internal SSD is a custom NVMe drive. And I know standard ones, if you're looking for a terabyte, standard ones that are high speed, you're probably paying, I think, like 60, 70. You can always find
something around there. Yeah.
So that's probably how they're justifying the price. They're figuring, well, you can get a standard everyday one for 60, 70. Our custom ones, quote unquote, is worth that extra $50 because of whatever we're doing with it. I know they're not user serviceable because they said that it's something tied.
It's like soldered onto the motherboard.
Yeah. So it's when you start getting the stuff like that, these companies, that's just how they do when you want more space. Space is a premium. Like Samsung does it, Apple does it, Google does it. It's just space is apparently they try to make it a premium because I guess obviously they just want more money.
I just felt like they're both $449 technically. Like you said, it'd be bundled with the drive, $499. I just think that's what it is.
I'm sure it's just a bundle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just a hidden bundle discount, basically. Especially if it can come off. Especially if it can come off. If it can still come off on the disc one, it's definitely some kind of bundle price they're doing.
Right. Yeah, I think it does come off on the disc one. I'm just assuming, but it just seems that it does because like why would it not?
They got the picture, so it makes me think I could do it.
Yeah.
It's no different than phones. You've got the Pro, you've got the Max, and then you've got the standard version. Like the discless version is just the standard edition where it's like it's just as good as the Pro. It's got all the same features, but you're missing this one thing. And if you just paid the extra $50, you get the Max, right? And so like that's really all it is. It's like at movie theaters where it's like you've got the large popcorn, the medium popcorn, the small popcorn. The medium's just there to bump up the price.
But if you get the large popcorn, you can get the refill. But if you eat all that popcorn, you will probably not want the refill.
Right.
See, my dad, he'll always get the bucket. Yep, he'll throw his popcorn out, and then he'll get a fresh thing of popcorn. Just take it home.
I just have one request. Didge, attach that vertical stand.
Put the screw in. Put the screw in.
It's been fine. It's on my standing desk too, so it's been going up and
down.
God.
Oh my
god! Didge.
This is making me have a heart attack.
No.
It's been chilling.
Again.
Man.
We are going to sign off because we need to get Christian a doctor before he passes out. Guys, if you like this video, make sure you give us a like and subscribe. If you're listening on the podcast feed, give us that rating. It's been a blast. Until next time, keep watching movies. Peace.
See ya.
Peace.
Damn.